The Ethereum price regains $2,000. How much longer can it stay above $2,000? We've seen something really significant playing out down here, guys. Every time we have a push down and we get these big wicks, this is on a 4-hour chart for the Ethereum price, we tend to show that we're getting exhaustion in the market, whichever direction that's pushing. For example, here where we were pushing up, we got exhaustion candles, push back down. Right now you can see that we dipped all the way down here on the Ethereum price to 1696. And perhaps much lower than most people expected it to, which is obviously potentially a good thing that it's got a bit lower than people thought, because ultimately it's allowed more people to get into the market and perhaps buy at more discounted rates. But I'm not going to tell you that it's over and we're going to be pumping back towards the upside anytime soon. And it's all pretty clear, guys, when we look at not only the Ethereum chart but the Bitcoin chart as well. Now you can see that when we pumped previously back on the sort of 22nd of February last year, or 15th of February, whenever it was, and we had a big push through. We then wicked back down in the early stages of March. We then pushed up through, showing that this green line here is pretty much our line in the sand of where we must stay above for the Ethereum price. If we look at Bitcoin, there's a very similar pattern playing out, and that's why, guys, because we pushed all the way up super aggressively around the 10th of May to come back down and retest. Now, I want to show you the significance of what happened here, because we had a retest at this level and we had 1, 2, 3 wicks all the way down to exactly the same level. So this is why we kind of do chart analysis, guys, because it does show us some very key areas. Now, when it's pumping up into blue skies, it's more difficult to tell exactly where it's going to run to, but right now you can see how significant this zone is for Ethereum, and right now we wicked off it and we push back up aggressively. Looking now at the body close, which is in line with this high previously, we are looking to push higher, and I think we will push higher over the next few days. And I want to show you Bitcoin, because obviously Bitcoin is what controls the market. When Bitcoin is pumping, everything else will pump, and vice versa. And lo and behold, Bitcoin looks very, very similar to Ethereum, where we've got this similar kind of line in the sand. Although we did wick down lower through it, we're holding significantly this falling wedge pattern here, which ultimately, more often than not, doesn't always, does break towards the upside. Now, as I've mentioned, it's not going to just do this. What we could expect is perhaps more of a drop towards this lower level down here, which again would see Ethereum dropping to lower levels. Jumping into the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin, guys, you can see something very, very significant showing right here. This is a shoulder, a head, and another shoulder. Ultimately, it's not yet broken. It's been testing this area over the last hour or so, but I do expect that it's more than likely going to break this pattern. And what that means for us in terms of a Bitcoin target, which will give us an idea of how much Ethereum could push. You can go from the height from the bottom of the shoulders down to the top of the head. That will bring us to around $34,000. And zooming out a little bit, guys, you can see that this again is a significant level in the Bitcoin chart, where you can see that we have this touch point here, this touch point here. Now, I do expect that we're probably not going to be pushing through this, and more likely it's going to be a rejection towards the downside, which means looking into the Ethereum chart, I can see us bouncing towards this level on the Ethereum chart, which is around $2,300. Now, see that Bitcoin did something very similar, where it wicked down to this area previously, pretty much on the same dates, guys, and then again had this slightly higher close here above. If, however, we are going above and closing above, then we could well be entering into the bull cycle a bit earlier than anticipated. But I do think it's going to be a few weeks, a good few weeks, maybe even a couple of months before we're pushing up above that trend line and starting to experience the highs that we want to start seeing in Ethereum price and the Bitcoin price. Now, alarmingly, the DXY, the dollar index, which ultimately has been responsible for crypto falling lower and lower because everything is against the dollar index, has continued to push. If you look at the purple box, it's been a serious line of resistance, because this is back in 2016. This is a weekly chart, and you can see it's going up and continuing to push higher and higher and higher. But I do expect in the shorter term that it is going to see some sort of a turnaround. Because if the DXY is starting to see rejection, then we're going to see Bitcoin, Ethereum starting to have a bit of a push. But things are looking a bit more positive for Bitcoin and Ethereum than they were a few days ago. Obviously, I've told you guys, if we drop below 25,000 for Bitcoin, then things are going to be looking a bit more worrying for Ethereum, Bitcoin, but over the weekend, I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin is going to be pushing to around 34K. I think Ethereum is going to be pushing to around $2,300 before perhaps another little bit of a cool off. We're going to pay attention to what's happening in the US dollar. Obviously, things are all up in the air right now. We know there's a huge amount of inflation. We know that that's kind of the narrative behind why Bitcoin, etc., is such an important thing. But ultimately, the DXY is valued against other currencies in the world. COVID's obviously had a huge economical impact on the world, and that's effectively what's causing huge amounts of inflation. And ultimately, the US dollar hasn't suffered as badly as other currencies, even though it is still suffering. Bitcoin and Ethereum still remain the projects they were before. It's just right now is not necessarily the prime time for them to be pushing to the moon, although obviously that's what we all want. So make sure you're paying attention to what's going on, looking for highs of around 2,300. If you missed the chance yesterday of buying at $1,600, then I'm pretty confident that it's going to happen again. You're going to get another chance to do that. Obviously, not financial advice. Go away and do your own research. Trading is risky. You can lose all of your money, especially in crypto. So be very, very cautious of what you're doing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick Ethereum update today. Please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out more than you know. Thank you for doing that. And if you're new to the House of Crypto and you want to learn more about Bitcoin, Ethereum as it happens, then make sure you subscribe to the House of Crypto and I'll keep you up to date when it happens. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.